friends, my name is Karen Keppel, and it's my honor as board chair of White Bear Center for the Arts to welcome you to Heart for Art. This year, 4 episodes in a new season of Heart for Art trace the people and arts programs that we gather each year to support. Every dollar in this fundraising effort goes directly to the arts programs you will learn about in this video. Today is the grand finale, but don't worry, you can stream the whole season online, including lessons in creative writing, watercolor painting, and Tai Chi. Sharing these stories from students, artists, and community members is an inspiring view of White Bear Center for the Arts mission, which is to enrich lives by celebrating art, nourish imagination by inspiring creativity, and build understanding by connecting people. I want you to recognize that you are special. No matter how old you are, I bet you have a story about why art is important to you. Because of people like you, these seeds get planted in thousands of people each year through programs at White Bear Center for the Arts. These seeds blossom to make our world a better place. 4 years ago, Sam Engrave won an award of excellence in poetry in the Right Now Writing Contest. Now, after just graduating from college with honors, I am privileged to introduce Sam to read her winning entry, Give Me a Pen, as we look to art for healing, relief, and reunion in the year to come. Like Sam, these words have grown even stronger with time. Enjoy.
Hi, my name is Sam Engrave, and this is my poem, Give Me a Pen. Give me a pen any day, and I'll prove to you it's mightier than the sword. How a sword may wound, but words will guarantee that you'll remember me long after the fight's over, and for years after the wounds heal. Give me a pen any day, and you'll realize why that poem, the ones about sticks and stones, was so grotesquely wrong. Give me a pen any day, and I'll show you how it bore civilizations and similarly decimated others. When language married ink, and they were able to be spread more than they ever could apart. Give me a pen any day, and there will be no question as to why books are burned, manuscripts destroyed, why those so desperate to gain power don't destroy weapons, but parchment and pens. Give me a pen any day, and you'll stop asking why a man with a silver tongue raises more fear than one holding a grenade. Give me a pen any day, and you'll realize why those with stories are persecuted, why those who would criticize us for being overzealous don't realize we're relentless until it's too little, too late. Give me a pen any day, and I'll show you how revolutions are started, legends are born, histories rewritten, and how dreams become reality. Give me a pen, and I'll show you how heroes redefine the world.
Welcome to a new season. Hi everyone, I'm Susie Hudson, Executive Director at White Bear Center for the Arts. On behalf of so many students, artists, board members, and staff, we thank you for taking this time to be part of Heart for Art, a new season. White Bear Center for the Arts was founded in 1968 by a group of passionate artists who believed the arts were essential to our quality of life and the quality of one's community. Over the past 50 years, the Art Center has grown and changed considerably. However, this remains the same. The arts are essential to our quality of life and that of the communities. Over the past 17 years, I've also come to believe that White Bear Center for the Arts has become a place that is essential to the quality of life in the community. It has been said that art is the signature of civilization. 20 years from now, I wonder what we will see when we look back on the signature that artists made this past year. I believe it will stand out as a very unique signature, one that reflects both grief and perseverance, social upheaval, as well as important solidarity. I believe it will be a signature of profound loss, yet inspiring, outrageous courage, our loneliness, and the incredibly heartwarming ways people created to break through the isolation and rewrite the most precious signature of all, our human connections. What we once took for granted will never be seen the same way again. As we look ahead towards the coming year, I imagine we will see a signature created that speaks of healing. Like Sam so beautifully put into words, we believe the pen is mightier than the sword, that words do matter, our signatures matter, our healing matters. White Bear Center for the Arts has always been a place for healing because the arts are inherently healing. No matter whether you use a paintbrush or a pen, a camera or your bare hands, whatever your skill level or age, each of us has a unique signature to share. And White Bear Center for the Arts knows that your signature matters because together we color the world and write our future. And together we will heal, and nothing can stop us from doing it joyfully. At White Bear Center for the Arts, it is our mission to enrich lives by celebrating art. That's why this past year, the center presented 10 online exhibitions in virtual form through the Ford Family Gallery, including an international plein air juried exhibition, Into Nature, engaging artists from across 19 US states and 8 other countries. It's why we offered weekly creative care packages with free art activities for all ages, shared and opened over 75,000 times this last year. And it's why the High School Visual Arts Exhibition and High School Right Now contest never missed a beat, and even expanded to include more schools and immersive writing groups for youth. It is our mission to nourish imagination by inspiring creativity. It's why over 4,500 kids are still receiving weekly visual art lessons through our Arts in Elementary program. And it's why Imagine Art continues to offer summertime art classes for all grade levels, and why 2,000 art kits were delivered to families in need last summer, and why more than 100 professional artists teach their beautiful programs supported by Heart for Art. It is our mission to build understanding by connecting people. That's why Artist in Residence Sing Lee and Youth and Outreach Director Kyle Fredrickson created public art, turning the space around the center into a place of gathering and sacred reflection. And it's why art created this year honored both the lives that were lost and the hope that was created. It's why the light of hope grows stronger through conversations. It's why we heard people say, "I will never see the same way again," after just 30 minutes listening to artist Peyton Scott Russell. And it's why young or old, faces beam when we look at pictures of arts activities, because you see people expressing a part of themselves that they need to share. You see people who accept each other, and you see people active in a meaningful way of being together. This fall, your art center will reopen with more classrooms, new gallery space, and amazing gathering areas both indoors and out. Embrace this energy that brings us together. White Bear Center for the Arts is a place where your imagination is nurtured. It's a place where your uniqueness is cherished. And it's a place where your signature is honored as an important piece of the human story. So today and every day, we welcome and invite you to join in making this a new season, a season full of hope, healing, and possibility. Thank you.
My name is Sean Gritzmarker. I teach here at White Bear Lake Area High School South Campus. I've been teaching here for, this is year 21 already. Wow, this makes things interesting. I know, crazy. And I am a visual arts teacher here. I teach movie production, photography, drawing and painting courses. Accessibility is hugely important, and it's not a one-size-fits-all solution for our students. It's giving them a diverse range of options, and I can safely say not only through school here, but through the Arts Center and other community resources, we're trying to create avenues that are meeting students at places where they're at.
Good afternoon, I'm Tim Maurer. I'm the Director of Community Services and Recreation for White Bear Lake Area Schools. The Many Faces of White Bear Lake Area is a community collaborative of a number of local organizations that all partner together to engage the community to listen, learn, reflect, and engage on various topics that the organization feels are important to address at this time. In the past year, we've done a lot around race and equity, and we continue to do that work. The White Bear Center for the Arts has done a phenomenal job of offering opportunities to explore these, racial inequities or diversity through the arts. We are exploring this through a book study or through an art exhibit of different artists of different cultural backgrounds, and a couple other opportunities we had this year with doing art exhibits and gallery talks and getting to talk with the artists and learn more about why they did what they did or more about their work. But just one of the many different ways that we can engage with our community in a different way that's more appealing to them. And I think another option that the White Bear Center for the Arts does a phenomenal job with, I'd say almost most of them are either low cost or free options for our community members.
My name is Annie Butlervale, and I've worked in the Community Services Department in the White Bear Lake Area Schools for the last 15 years with our before and after school program that a lot of people know of as Extended Day. Last spring, we were surprised and delighted to receive 4 large boxes with very high quality sketch pads and really top of the line colored pencils, all thanks to the generosity of the White Bear Center for the Arts donors. And there was something about being able to provide students with time to sit down with their beautiful sketchbooks and their beautiful colored pencils and just decompress a little bit through the gift of drawing and expressing themselves. Some students used the journals to do some writing, kind of track their summer that way. Some incorporated writing and illustration, so it was really fun to see how inspired the kids were, and really you got a sense that they were using it as a tool to help themselves cope with a wild time.
One of the most successful things that I feel we've done and partnered with the Arts Center is the high school arts exhibition. And it got off to a wonderful kickstart a few years back. For a few years, we had great showings. Cars were lined up down the street, people coming from all over the Northeast Metro to attend. And then a pandemic hit, and I'm like, oh, we've got this wonderful thing kickstarted. Is this going to kill it? And I was so concerned. But the Arts Center has really done a wonderful job in kind of reinventing how that show exists virtually. One of the things that I have found my students have really benefited from and talked about and discussed widely is the feedback they get from working and practicing artists about their work. It is not only a growth experience for the students that are participating, but for the students in my classroom. We show the exhibit to my students and they're like, oh, that makes sense. Why was that selected? What makes a great work of art? Just listening to a practicing artist respond to student work is beneficial, and the recognition my students get. The Center for the Arts one is free. It's open to everyone. They can submit multiple submissions, and it is a highlight of for our students every year. So it offers great growth there in the sense that they can see not only where they stand per se in the art world, but where they can go.
The mission of the White Bear Center for the Arts to spark creativity in students really aligns with the mission of our out-of-school time programs. We really want kids to be learning, but to be having fun. I think it's important to support the White Bear Center for the Arts just because it enriches our entire community and it provides opportunities for children through our oldest members of the community to really tap into that creative part of themselves. I believe as human beings, we're all created to be creators. And sometimes in the busyness of life, we might set aside that it's a real need. It's right up there with eating and sleeping and getting plenty of exercise. I think to take time, and it can be part of a reflection process to be creative. I just think it's a vital part. It should be a vital part of everybody's life, and when we provide opportunities for people to tap into that, it really makes for a richer community.
The White Bear Center for the Arts has done a phenomenal job connecting people through the work they do, because you're already starting off by doing something that you have a common interest with the person next to you. If you're there for an art class, you both have that common interest, but automatically sparks conversation and to learn about the person next to you or across the table from you that will inevitably lead to additional conversations about other topics you're there to explore. I think it'd be very difficult for anybody else to do what the White Bear Center for the Arts does for the community right now, with the history you have, the connections you have in the community, how engaged you are in the community. You can't replace that. I don't think anybody else could come in and do what the White Bear Center for the Arts does.
My name is Heidi Brophy, and I was introduced to the Art Center through attending a Heart for Art event. I was a willing participant, then became a table host, and now I'm in my second year as a volunteer member of the Board of Directors. I'm here to ask you to join me in supporting White Bear Center for the Arts. This year's Heart for Art goal of raising more than $200,000 is incredibly important in providing the programs you've learned about during the seasons to come. And I'm thrilled to share giving sparked by the Manitou Fund's matching grant announced in Heart for Art Episode 3 puts us halfway to this big goal. Our community is important to me, and that's why I wanted to join the board. I live and work in the area, and I know how much the Art Center does to enhance the quality of life here. I hope you've enjoyed hearing from some of our community leaders and participants, real stories about how the Art Center has an impact on people's lives. It's this positive change that you create with a gift to White Bear Center for the Arts. The easiest way to give today are by mail or online. The information is on your screen, and links will be listed depending on your viewing format. Every dollar raised at Heart for Art entirely supports arts programs, and every penny gets spent on activities like those you've seen today. Without contributed support, tuition would be more than double, and many of these moments would simply disappear. If you're considering a gift, why not pledge to continue your support in the years to come? You can set this up online, download a form on our website, or request the information by mail. The Art Center's staff are always ready to help answer any questions by phone or email. So please, I hope you will join me and my family in supporting White Bear Center for the Arts. Sharing Heart for Art with a friend helps even more people benefit from these programs. And who knows, your friend could be sitting in my place before too long. It's an important time to soak up and share what your Art Center has to offer. Thanks to people like you, this torch shines brightly and has not skipped a beat for more than 50 years. Join me, and together in a new season, we will bring the next exciting chapter to life.